Shout out Sports Card Show. Today is July 13th, 2022. Thank you for stopping by. When you're out there in the YouTube landscape or maybe in IG, checking out some of the channels I talked about today, tell them Ziggy sent you. Really appreciate you guys checking the channel. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. You're going to love it. We put out daily content, almost daily, pretty much daily. You check out you see. Anyway, a lot of other cool content coming out. I mix some other stuff in the evenings. Mornings are normally talking about hobby content, doing some shout outs. Love to get your feedback. Love to hear what you have to say, positive or negative. We don't block people here. We're going to go ahead and get in we're going to start with some collectors channels. We're going to look at some interviews that took place around the hobby the other day. We're going to talk about some facts. Again, my goal here is to make you think, maybe make you laugh, and you might even cry. Sit back. Let's get started, guys. Another packed day of content. So let's go ahead and kick it off here with Mr. Infuego, new channel to me with 227 subscribers. What I really liked about his channel, not only did he share some cards and, he's a new collector, he makes some references to his wife that made me laugh. He shares at the end a bunch of other channels he gives shout outs to. And I really, really like that. League of Our Own is one of the only channels that I recognize in this. So a lot of other channels for me to subscribe to, put in the feed, and hopefully share with you guys in the future. So really, really love this. And it makes me think to myself when people talk about hobby content. I think there's some amazing hobby content out there. We just need to expand our view and help each other out. So hope you guys enjoy this. I really enjoyed this. You'll see.
All right, I think this break was a success.
I mean, look at this.
So, with all that being said and done, it's been fun. It's been real.
A lot of shout outs there. A lot of shout outs. Really, really, that's awesome. Another quick channel. Check out Lifelong Astros fan. Just subscribed to this channel earlier this week. Not a specific baseball card channel, but an Astros fan. Shares collectibles, shares his insights. Hit 500 subs the other day. So let's give him some sub love. If you're an Astros fan, I think you'll like that. If you're an Astros hater, you might enjoy following his channel too. Just don't be, too rude about it. Have fun. Great video here. Talked about history through cards earlier. I think it was this week or last. Really cool video here. Look, you into vintage? Would you like to own a card that's 100 years old? Sports? We're talking billiards here. This card, I believe, is under $100. It's a 100-year-old card. And you'd have to say it's very, very coveted, right? It's kind of rare. There's not a ton of these cards made. Cool stories behind it. So check it out. Not investment advice, but definitely collectible and something you might consider. Really cool here. John Mangini Collection shares with us great story about a baseball card and then shows you two versions of the card from a very, very rare set. Now, his comment here is this might be the first and only time these two cards are together in a long time. Now, ever. It's not like it's a massive thing, but both these cards are super, super short print. So to see them both together is really cool. And again, just cool to hear the history, the story about the player, what's going on here. The card on the left here, I believe, is it's a 2, an SGC or a 1.5 or something like that. But again, just amazing, amazing story. Really like learning, and I learned a lot here on John Mangini's channel. Great video here from Dakota, Sports Card Anonymous. Really enjoyed this video. Remember yesterday we talked about Dan had the spreadsheet on tracking your buys and sells in your portfolio. Well, Dakota has one too. It's a really cool spreadsheet. I believe he leaves a link here below, if I'm not mistaken. And he even goes to his talks about how he physically organizes cards so he can find them off his sheet, which I think is amazing. Dakota does share with you, he's an inventory specialist. So some great insights here. I also want to comment, this video is free. This was not on his Patreon channel. So I really appreciate that, Dakota. I think that's awesome, man. This is good content. I call this evergreen. Okay, cool video here from one of my favorite content creators. Cards and comics. I love them all, the content creators, but there are a few that I do like a little more than others. This one's talking about the eBay authentication program and why it sucks. And I would sit here and say, interesting. I'm not going to argue with you. I've heard a lot of compliments and complaints about the eBay authentication. I will tell you, I just had an eBay authentication story that I'm going to put in a video and share with you. I was a seller and sent a card in for authentication and it failed. I have a failed authentication card, and I will share the story with that and what I'm doing next, probably in a later video, but it was insightful to me, I guess. I was not aware and didn't expect this to happen. Okay, great video. One of my favorite, again, another favorite channel, Bench Clear Media. Just these guys do so much. This is On the Fly with Mike and Ty. They talk a little bit about some of the chasing cardboard. One of the favorite parts here, they talk about the national, they also talk about becoming a dealer. And the thing I like about this is they talk about some of the advantages to being a dealer. And Ty talks about when you're not a dealer, you're out there looking for the deal, you're out hunting. When you're a dealer, deals come to you. It's different perspective. And made me think about that. Made me think about maybe trying that as a dealer sometime. I've always talked about it. I talked about an earlier video doing it. Just haven't had the time to do it this year. But I did enjoy that perspective. Cool video here from Extreme Card Breaks, another regular here on the content channel. Video here, just real quickly, short, talking about Ronald Acuna autograph. You can see here's Ronald Acuna Jr. autograph, and here's Ronald Acuna, and here's Ronald Acuna. And again, not to start a conspiracy, but there's just a lot of concern about some of these autographs, and a breakout brings this to the attention. I mean, he's never used Junior apparently when he signs autographs, so is this really Ronald Acuna? There's a lot of questions about this. And there's been stories about this, you know, Lulu with Luca, Dak Prescott. We just had the Rosarino autograph. I'll just say this: I love the awareness this brings, because that's what we're talking about here in the community. But the second thing that makes me think to myself is that when I'm famous, I'm going to sign my autographs each day differently, just to keep people thinking. And don't worry, I'm not going to be famous. But if someone out there's famous and you're listening to me, I think you should do that. I think every time you sign your autographs, you should do it different, a specific inscription, so it is something you can identify. Like on Fridays, I'd sign like this. On Thursdays, I'd sign like that. You know, change something around. I think that'd be kind of cool. Another cool video here from Sports Cards once again. Look, I really like his channel, love the content. He's coming up on 1,000 subs. Would love to help push him over the line there. But this video, he talks about the Chinese market. Now, again, whether you like the Chinese market or not, I think it's great to get an insight into what's going on in other sports card markets. Also, he talks about here a grading company in China that's rather reputable, GBTC, and why they're reputable in China, but how they're not used anywhere else. They can't use them on ComC, or StarStock wouldn't accept these slabs. And he does comparisons to other slabs that are in China. I just really like this, really enjoyed it. So I thought you guys should check it out as well. Another cool video here from Because I'm Carlos, who put together a video on World Series of Poker. Now, again, great history here talking about the World Series of Poker. He goes through some of the winners, talks about the hype. There's a chart here he uses that goes over, you know, the history of World Series Poker. I guess it was 2006 when the Moneymaker guy kind of made it all popular. Someone came out of nowhere and won that. I thought it was pretty cool. It talks about some of the cards. Not a play, not telling you to invest in the cards, but just the history, the story. I didn't know some of the stuff, but just made me think a lot about you know, sports cards, other collectibles. You know, I talked about billiards, poker's another one, kind of cool. So thought I'd share that with you guys. As we move along, got a video, finally a video here from Mojo Sports, where he's not just showing you around his house, he actually shows you some cards. And this one I really enjoyed. He has a super collector, share with him some really cool cards. This is one that caught my attention. I used to be a Game of Thrones fan until season 8. Now I absolutely loathe Game of Thrones, but I still like this actress. And I thought this is a pretty cool piece. Also, there's a lot of other monster pieces that he shows in this. Of course, we're going to get hit with a commercial. Yeah. Anyway, check out the video. Great video. Love seeing some of these big cards. Great video, conversation, interview with on Lootbox. So I'm going to tell you guys, Lootbox, if you're listening, I have become a bigger fan. Now, part of that was I used to watch you guys, and I thought you guys just jumped into sports cards because you had money. You started opening boxes. But I realized you actually do enjoy what you're doing, and you're learning, you're having fun, and you guys are cool. Okay, I'm gonna say it. You guys are cool. I guess I'm just jealous I don't have as much money as you do to open up all the big boxes, and you guys always seem to get great hits. But I love the interviews you did. I love listening you talk to Coach Co. And this one with Ryan, Card Collector 2, was really good too. I'm going to play a little clip for you because I also want to appreciate that. I appreciate this little clip. This was definitely fun, and I enjoyed it. Appreciate the shout out.
I don't know if I ever read too much into that. Like, I just, if there's shot might make sense, right?
I asked a question.
Video idea,
Listen.
and he gives credit to everybody that's there. And he gets to our point where we were talking with Coach Cole and a couple things, and first thing he says, "Look, I'm not a fan of gin and juice. They're not my cup of tea." I'm like, all right, that's fair. Like, everybody's not a fan of us. It's fine. But they had these guests on here that actually are talking some sense, and he showed the clip of Coach Co. So it was kind of cool. But I thought it was hilarious, and I just went to his YouTube. Hey, appreciate the shout out.
Dude, I appreciate that. I really do. You know, it's funny. I think about the people who I kind of ruffle some feathers sometimes, my YouTube channel. Just come back like this guy did. Now, he appreciates, I was being honest. I wasn't saying anything mean or rude, and I brought attention to this channel, and he brought attention to my channel, and I feel like I just made a new friend. So Gin and Juice, I really do appreciate what you guys do. And Card Collector, I'm going to tell you right now, next video is on Card Collector. It's on his trade night he did. I might think that this might be the best human being in sports cards. And I mean that, like, best human being in sports cards all around. He just seems just good. He's a good guy. I mean, I've followed him for years. He was into this hustle. He used to have his own channel. He's got money together. He bought a store. He bought store with allocations. He's put time and money and investment. The stuff I see him do with kids really hits home for me. I mean, I'm a father. I think that's what got me back into cards. I know it's what got me back into cards. It's kind of what keeps me in cards, is a father-like figure in cards. And Ryan, you're dude. Much respect. Is there anything I could ever do to help you? let me know. I can't. I'm sure you don't need me, but I mean it. You are one of the best guys in sports cards, if not the best. You guys tell me who's a better human being in sports cards. Just he does what he does, and he gives back, and he cares. And I don't know. I'm getting a little a little emotional here. You go, Ryan. Okay, so I thought this video was kind of funny. This is Roth card. Now, if you watch this video here, you'll find out that Roth was supposed to be co-sponsoring this with Kenneth and somebody else and Ryan, but Roth didn't make because he was sick.
Good morning, everybody. It's about 10 o'clock, and we are live here in Mexico. Show you guys the view.
So he wasn't that sick, right? He just apparently, I must have had that, that quick COVID flu or something like that. But anyway, what gets me about this video, first of all, I'm a fan and I applaud the hustle. I met the Roth card guys at the Chantilly show. I don't think Roth mentions me, but in this video, I find it interesting because as he goes on to talk about what he's doing in the hobby and he's in Mexico for 5-7 days, all I can think to myself is, I think this is the first sign of maybe he's getting a little bored of this hustle, right? Maybe he's sitting there going, maybe this isn't the right thing to do long term. Like he's got a lot of subscribers, he's got a lot of energy, it's got to be bringing some revenue. So you're like, I got to keep feeding this plant, but maybe this isn't the right thing. I'm just gonna say that because I do think you're going to see more correction of that. You're going to see people who aren't real dealers, who became dealers 2 years ago, stop becoming dealers. And it's no knock. He goes on here to give his prediction of the market. He makes some comments about how, why aren't people buying the dip? You always want to buy cards and the dip comes, you guys don't buy it. It's almost like he's angry and frustrated that people aren't buying, right? I'll leave it at that. You listen to it. He makes some insights. Another quick comment I'll make is all year long, it's July right now, since January, I've heard content influencers tell me that it's a slow time of the year. Right now, January, February is really typically slow after the holidays. No, it's March, April. That's when baseball season starts and everybody's already gotten everything. The playoffs, it's always slow. No, it's June, July. That's really a slow time of the season because what you have is basketball ended and football ended. No, really the slow time of the season right before the national, right up into July. No, the slow time of the season really August, right before football season. Let me tell you something. The market's changed. The slow time has always been, from my recollection, January, February, after people spent their money in Christmas, the holidays. That's typical for most industries. The restaurant industry, stuff like that goes down in January. Everything else is just called market correction, people. The market's correcting. Anyway, let me not beat that horse to death. Good video here, man. JD, big fan. And we have on here Buy Sports Cards. I forget the gentleman's name. It's probably hidden back here somewhere. Talk about a new platform. And I mentioned this platform a few weeks ago when Brad had him on his channel, Tech and Cards. Really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it, number one, because you have an interview here where the interviewer takes questions and asks the questions to the person. I think that's great. This is what used to happen in sports card interview shows, but doesn't anymore. And I try to keep my questions to be accurate and poignant and fair, right? Let me say this. I have nothing against this new platform. This is Buy Sports Cards. You can check it out.com. My only thoughts are just why. That'll be an answer. Why? Like, to me, why I would tell you about this platform is I think this is a great place as a buyer. There's so many of these platforms have splintered the market that you can go buy cards at really good prices. Alt is sucking, right? Their auctions suck. PWC's had some weaknesses. Star Stock's falling apart. Even ComC has good deals. There's no strong unified, like before the boom, before 2020, there were two strong markets in sports cards, ComC and eBay. And now we splintered those. So you got a lot of weakness in those markets, which really helps destroy the confidence, which is helping this correction. More markets is not going to make this better. And then again, you have to go back to what was wrong with the first market. The biggest complaint people have about eBay, commissions. That's really it. I mean, I know there's a lot of other things that annoy people, but everybody's trying to find a way to save money by not using eBay. My comment here is, look, I hope you guys will use this. I might use this if I was going to buy cards. I don't know if I would sell cards on here. What's nice, you don't have to send the cards to them. You can just be another place you list it, like an eBay or at ComC, you actually have to send your cards to them. So there are some advantages. Check it out. Give me your thoughts, your feedback. I'm going to finish up with one last video, one video that kind of made my night. This one might make you laugh and might make you cry. If you guys follow the Great Curator and Merle, who are two content channels who have blocked ZiggyNo. Yep. And we'll do another video on that later on. I have a list where we're going to talk about the block list because I think blocking people is childish and cowardly. But listen to this, because this made my night.
Poor Dan, as they would say. This is going to be a make or break show. I don't know about you, but for me, this Dallas show is going to be make or break for my year.
What?
Yeah.
Just for this one show? What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, because the last 3 or 4 shows we've been going to have been like terrible. You know, it's making me reevaluate this whole, should we be traveling to these out-of-state card shows? So if Dallas doesn't do well for me, my confidence is definitely going to be shaking going into national.
I mean, well, I understand that, but this is going to, I mean, we shouldn't have our expectations too high for Dallas.
My expectations are just to be better than the other shows.
Let's talk about that. But that was a pretty interesting comment, because if you follow the great curator and Merle, that's what they've been doing. They've been going around to different, trade shows. And, for a while they were killing it, telling you how much money they're making, right? They were going to Canada and worrying about how they're going to get $10,000 back through customs. And the last 3 or 4 shows have been real. I'll even say that Ken on the card night made a comment that he didn't do many deals, right? Things are changing, guys. Things are changing. And I can tell you that myself. I've been selling cards for the entire year of 2022 and most of 2021 selling. And I've seen the selling's been harder. It's harder to sell. Prices are continuing to dip. Not buying, by the way, just continuing to sell, trying to sell off, inventories. It's harder than you think. I've always said that selling's not easy. Going liquid's not easy. I think we're going to see more and more of the same stuff going on in the hobby, more and more of this correction. I think the key to this, and the reason I want to, continue what I'm doing, is that we have to feed and water the grassroots of the hobby. Those are the collectors. Those are the people that actually love and care about the cards. So hope you guys enjoyed the video this morning. Hope you have a great day. Have a great week. Look forward to more content tomorrow. I'm already working on tomorrow's show. Might drop something extra in the evening. We'll see. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff.